Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe for more content. So today, kind of what started this video, at least for me, and gave me the idea was, I don't know if you've seen some previous videos, my grandmother died about 2.5 months ago, and my grandfather died about actually a decade ago this year. And I was extremely close to them. And so in the process of, in the process of all of us selling off the farm, just to split it up between, children and stuff like that. Luckily I have a lot of stuff from my grandfather and my great-grandfather, and I was thinking about a hatchet and an axe that I have. It's back with my dad right now, but it was my great-grandfather's, and I was thinking, just how long, obviously it's still in good condition. The handle might need to be replaced at some point, but I can pass that down to my kids, and how much of a treat would that be that, they have stuff that lasts. And I was thinking, with the economy and just the economic collapse and in a Great Depression scenario, if I could only have one hatchet or axe that I would have for the rest of my life and I wasn't able to buy anything else, I know there's one size fits all, you can't do that, but just what would my number one pick be? Something that I would want to hand down to my kids, to my grandkids, to my great-grandkids. And so I was like, what hatchet would that be, right? What's going to be my version of my great-grandfather's hatchet, right? And I keep coming back to this, the Gränsfors Bruks. Everyone says you pronounce it differently, but I call it Gränsfors. This is the wildlife hatchet, and I've had it for about a year, and it's kind of grown on me, guys. I've had to clean up some pine sap off of it, but very similar to what he had. He had more of a carpenter's hatchet, and that's what I have now. One of these days I'm going to make a video and showing it, and maybe you guys will find it neat. But I think something this size is a really good heirloom. These axes are really great. They have warranties. I've had the forest axe, I think the hunter, and I got 3 of them. But honestly, this is the one I go to. Now the small forest axe is, top notch, but this is just so much better. I do a lot of backpacking. I take this with me backpacking, especially camping in the wax canvas tent, the wood stove tent, way up in the mountains. This has just been really good, for splitting small little boughs and stuff of pine and fir tree to put in the wood burning stove. Hasn't got a whole lot of use since last year just because I've been so busy with work. But honestly, guys, for the money, this is going to run you about $200. If you're not familiar with them, they do have initials who makes them in their factory. So these are made in Sweden. Good Swedish axe hatchet. Swedish steel is pretty top notch. I got some subscribers that are over in Sweden. They make some good stuff, but honestly, I think this would be my heirloom hatchet that I would hand down to my kids. One day I'll hand this down. It's just got a good feel, good splitting. It's light enough that I don't have to worry about it when I'm packing it in somewhere. And honestly, I get more smarter. The older I get, of course I'm not ancient, but the older I get, the more I'm interested in efficiency. And normally when I would go camping, even car camping or ATV camping or something like that, with my wood burning stove tent, I would take the small forest axe for splitting the wood, but you don't really need it. I find more useful to use a handsaw. It's just more energy efficient and it's easier. And then this just to split it. It's a really good size. I would definitely steer you towards this if you want just something all around a good heirloom quality. Thinking back about the stuff that that I have from my grandparents and my great-grandparents. Stuff now, we just live in such a throwaway society, and it's hard to find good heirloom quality stuff. I just wanted to make a good video on this. So honestly, when kids get older, I can, introduce them to, how to chop wood safely, how to, fall small little trees, little saplings and stuff, so they can learn just the concept of it. And it's a good little training axe hatchet for them. But I think this is definitely something that I would pass down. Obviously, you can, rehandle it. And I do like how the grain orientation on these, they do really good. You know, you don't want improper grain orientation. Of course, with this, I don't think you're going to be, you know, felling a bunch of massive oaks, or, you know, like a hemlock or a coastal pine or something massive. But, you know, I mean, it's just, they're really good. I don't know. I hope you guys like the video. I just want to make a little video on it. Just been thinking a lot about stuff that I would hand down to my kids and grandkids one day when I'm gone too. I guess especially just having a lot of people die in my family. So, anywho, if you like this content, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe, and try to get some more videos. Get back to the groove of things. Appreciate your guys' support. We'll see you on the next video. Stay safe.